All right, officially welcome. We got the replay going. So today, again, we're connecting goals to your action plans. We're going to be connecting with you individually, those of you on the team, and making sure that you're really clear on what your income goal is, when you're going to hit it, and what the plan is to make that happen. And it needs to be believable to you and me, because I'll be supporting you. Now, if you want to ditch me and just run towards something that I have a hard time believing you can succeed, more power to you. There's certainly a lot of people in my life who didn't believe I would accomplish the goals that I did, and I went and proved them wrong. Cool. But if I'm going to be mentoring you and helping you, I need to believe that you can achieve what you're setting out to do. And that's what this conversation is about. It's about kind of melding our minds and making sure we're both in agreement that what you're setting out to accomplish makes sense. I've got a lot of experience doing it. I hit the 50K affiliate level in my first month in this company, so I obviously know how to create that kind of momentum. And while you won't all have the same success I have because I'm leaning on a lot of experience, you can lean on my experience to help you do better here than you probably could do anywhere else. It's a phenomenal company. It's a phenomenal opportunity, compensation plan, product line. They did 170 million last year. Like, I really want you guys to understand, like, it's not that complicated to figure it out. Like, when you look at the success they've had and stuff, you don't need to overthink it. Like, it's a great system to be able to accomplish your goals. And I want you just to just realize that, and then now ask, okay, how can you plug away at accomplishing an amazing lifestyle by participating with the company? And to be excited about the fact that this is set up to last a lifetime. That's why I'm here. A lot of you know I've had many seven-figure years in traditional business, in online affiliate marketing. I had a couple eight-figure years. It was going to have to take something really extraordinary to bring me back to the network marketing model, because I could just send emails and automate a lot of stuff and make a lot of money. I needed to believe in the product. This totally wowed me in the first 30 seconds that I took it. I have a very serious health challenge, and it has saved my butt in a really big way. I've shared that before. I won't go into that right now, but it's an amazing company. And again, if you don't have that personal experience, you can just look at the track record they've had. There was a virtual tour event last Saturday, a couple days ago. I was actually interviewed on there. And if you watch that, like, you get a really good sense and feel for how legitimate this is, how long-term this is set up to be, and how successful they've already been, but how it's just the beginning. That's all clear. Again, it's a system. Don't have to overthink it. It's just a system. And we're not going out there and having to prospect friends and family in these really aggressive ways. You don't have to prospect. I don't prospect friends and family at all. So anyway, it's all about just accepting, okay, here's a really cool company with a very successful situation, and you can partner with them and earn all the way up to CEO level money if you want to, or $1,500 a month or $5,000 a month or whatever it is. So today we're going to be connecting with the team, making sure that you're clear on your income goal, making sure you're clear on your action plan to obtain it. And through our conversation, I need to make sure, if I'm going to be mentoring you and working with you and helping you build that, that I believe that your personal development, your mindset, and your belief and your experience, like, is reasonable with your goal. Like, for example, if someone wants to make $1 million in a year, but they've never made more than $50,000 in a year, you need to have a serious conversation. I want to make sure that it's realistic what you're setting out to do, and that you believe it, and then you'll achieve it. Okay, so the screen we're looking at right now, before I begin, before we connect with you guys, we're looking at the upline marketing. Not all of you will follow this, so just give me a moment here, those of you who are just kind of listening in and eavesdropping on the conversations we'll be having. I just wanted to give an announcement that Wednesday, we connect with those of you who qualify for the upline marketing rotators, and we do leadership conversation, business building stuff, touch base on all kinds of stuff, and often in and around, getting those marketing rotators going. And I want to be really clear about something. Those that have been enrolled with us on the team, or who enroll before June 30th, will get to participate in that part of our strategy. Those that don't know what that is, it's in the comprehensive review video. We've emailed that out to so many times. You can ask about it. comprehensive review video. But that comprehensive review video that breaks down our strategy and how we work as a team to help you get into income and how you can leverage our marketing to do that faster, that video is going to change on July 1st. And it won't talk about this part of the strategy anymore because it takes a lot of effort on my end to manage it and stuff. And it was never offered to be forever. It's like for the people at the top. So other than the people that are enrolled or have been enrolled up until, you know, by June 30th of this month, we won't talk about this anymore with the public. So I wanted to mention that. And I wanted to mention that on Wednesday, I'm doing a marathon call from 8 a.m. from 8 a.m. I'll have to get my Hempworx coffees lined up. From 8 a.m. till 7 p.m. Pacific, I'm dedicating that whole time to be there to help people with the kind of stuff that I'm working on today, because it's going to take a long time to connect with a lot of you guys to talk about your income goals, your action plan, and make sure it all lines up, right? Like today, we'll only get through a handful of people, but if we do it all day, we'll get through a lot of people. And it'll give you guys, you don't have to be there the whole time, but it gives you a chance to connect at different times of the day and know that I'm going to be there. Now, I will have intermissions where I can take some breaks, but I'll just leave the screen open. It will say intermission, like it'll still be live. And you'll know when that is. I'm going to post the details of that and when I'll be taking my intermission breaks. I'll post that tomorrow, Tuesday. But what I wanted to say is our weekly upline marketing rotator meeting, which is usually held at 2 p.m. Pacific time on Wednesday, we actually will still take time to do that during the same session. So that will be one of the intermissions. So at 2 p.m., we will pause for 30 minutes, maybe a little more, to talk about the upline marketing rotators. And that's a good opportunity for others listening in to the goal setting stuff and the action plan setting stuff to kind of be a part of that and so forth. So again, just remember, starting July 1st, no more the comprehensive review video that talks about our strategy, about how we work as a team to help people get to incomes faster. The part that talks about how they get help on their second leg, which is a really generous thing, that will no longer be available to new people. So let your pre-enrollees, let people know who've been checking out this business, and you enroll by June 30 if they want to be a part of that plan. And if it's for them to learn about that plan, they can just watch the current comprehensive review video. Okay. Next. I made a post and it's kind of in fun, but it's also serious at the same time. I said hashtag satire just to make sure people who don't know me knew that it was satirical. But I posted, and I want you to think about this because it really gets in touch with who we do not want in this business. I posted on Facebook, I'm broke and don't care about personal development or personal growth, but I want to get rich quick. Don't have much of a work ethic. No scams. Tell me about your opportunity. And I said hashtag satire, obviously. But, you know, it's funny that that's where, you know, the majority of people are at. They say they don't have any money. They're clearly not interested in personal development or improving themselves. They want to get rich or make a lot of money really fast. They don't have much of a work ethic at all. And they don't want any scams. So that's who we don't want. And I'm going to be working with Robin a lot more on our funnels, on our marketing presentations as we go forward, testing different things. A lot of you have been on the in with that, and we're going to keep testing stuff. And I'm going to make sure that we're not attracting people like that. Like, you know, I'm excited about this opportunity. I see the massive potential for it, and I want to help people get to where I am as quickly as they possibly can. That's what today's about. And when we do our marketing, we focus on the highlights that drew me to the company and the opportunity, obviously. But at the same time, I think we need to make room to make sure we're not attracting people in that are a little bit ding-dongy, right? Like, and I say that with love. Like, what can you do? It's just a human nature thing. A lot of people just aren't willing to be realistic about anything, and that's why their lives are rough. We want to attract people that can succeed when they have a fantastic opportunity, and we'll make sure that we gear our messaging to make sure that that's more and more the case. Another thing, just before we start with our goal setting and action planning, this is a screenshot. This is actually in my back office showing this is just some of them, but the new lead source that are level 2 and level 3 people, people at executive level, executive pro level, are going to get to participate in to use the same leads that I've been testing since early May, because I always promised you guys, like, I'm going to be testing different stuff and I'm going to be your guide. You know, I've been an expert marketer for so long, and one of the advantages of being here is you get to piggyback on that. And so we're going to be offering those leads to level 2s and level 3s, which are people at the executive, pro executive pack level. Again, watch the comprehensive review if you're new or just kind of listening and spying in today to understand more about that. But speaking to those of you already on the team, if you're at level 2 or level 3, right now we're moving into giving you the same leads that I've been testing and using. As you can see, like over here, it shows the number of signups. Like, and by the way, these have just been within since May. You can see I started on May 4th. And there's actually a lot more that we dumped that weren't doing good, you know, because we waste a lot of money. We burn through a lot of money. It's not wasteful, but we burn through a lot of money to find what works, and then we pass it on to you. It's like really cool. But anyway, and these are the signups over here that I got, and just on some of them, on the ones that are working the best, and this is just since May. So 15, 25, 26, 35, 46, 46, I think. Affiliates, and actually we've had a lot more signups than that. I've had 105 signups since May, a lot of them at the free level, but a very large number at executive and director. My point is, if you're in level 2 or level 3, we're making our move now. I'll be sharing I did a webinar yesterday for level 2s and 3s. If you didn't see it, find it ASAP. If you want to potentially participate in having the same lead source I have, we're not marking up the price. I'm giving it to you at the same cost. I'm just putting you into a rotator. It's a phenomenal opportunity. However, in the webinar I went over yesterday, like, I spent a ridiculous amount of time saying who we do not want to do this. So it's not like I'm trying to get you excited to do it, because if you don't have the right mindset, if you're not like committed to winning, you're just going to waste your money. And so I talk about that. No matter how good something is as far as an opportunity, if you have like a self-sabotaging belief system, you're going to make sure it doesn't work, that it fails. So I don't want just anybody doing these leads. Like, so watch that replay if you weren't there, and listen carefully to what I'm saying, and be forgiving of the language I use. I use words like loser, not to be mean, not to bully people, but to make sure that I'm sharp with my language and keep people out of that process of spending money who don't have the right mindset, that are easily triggered, who are just not going to make it in this culture. Understand that there are many, many free ways to build a huge income here. You do not need to buy leads to be wildly successful. This is how I build, so it makes sense that I will take my expertise and pass that on to those who want to. But I want to surround myself in this part of what we're doing with the leads with people that don't have a victim mindset, that are ready to succeed. They have either a success mindset already, or they're ready to grow into one. And there's going to be no weirdness. I just don't want any weirdness. I don't want that liability. I want a really cool team. And so I make that really clear in that webinar. I'm not trying to sell you guys on doing this. It's what I'm doing. I'm passing it on. I think it's really cool. It's really awesome, but I want to make sure we attract the right people. So watch that webinar replay if you didn't catch it live. And don't just jump in, like, just really make sure that you're ready to win. It's up here, guys. Okay, let me move into one little share. Is this it? Yeah. So somebody just enrolled like an hour ago at the Executive Pro Pack. Robert, if you're out there, hello. I'm looking forward to working with you if you happen to be here listening to this. I'm sharing this because it really gets us in touch with what we're about to connect with people on, with your action plans and stuff, and to reach your income goals. And it helps you understand this whole process of what I'm sharing with this, you know, this person that just enrolled. It really encapsulates. I'm going to share the conversation we had. It's very brief, just by emails. I didn't talk to him on the phone yet, which is what's so powerful about the systems that I can set you up with. Like I rarely ever talk to anybody on the phone before they enroll, because it's not necessary. Doesn't mean you shouldn't. If you have less leads and you need to maximize results, maybe that's what you do, but it's not necessary if you're able to generate a lot of leads, duplicating exactly what I do. And those of you who don't have much money to spend on ads, you're gonna wanna build relationships a little bit more. But I don't talk to people on the phone until after they enroll. So you can see exactly what the dialogue is and see how duplicatable it is. But the bigger point is I want you to understand what duplication means. When we talk about duplicating my success or duplicating Robert Hollis's success, who's been here, I think, for 3 years, and he's already a millionaire in the company, who builds very differently than me, all free methods. Or when we talk about duplicating Aaron Parker's success, who's also a millionaire in the company, who builds very differently from me, all free methods. He does do a little bit of advertising, but very, very little. When we talk about Jason Cardamone or Aaron Rashkin and all these different success stories who all do it a little bit differently, it's confusing to some people because they think, well, isn't duplication everyone doing the exact same thing? And it's like, no, of course not. If that was the case, Aaron Parker, Aaron Rashkin, Jason Cardamone, myself, Robert Hollis, and all the hundreds of other successful people here would be doing the exact same thing. So you have to ask yourself, okay, well, then what is everybody doing who's successful that is the same? And this story that I'm about to share with you, the person that I connected with who came in from an ad, we had a little bit of a back and forth exchange. I'll share that with you. It led to him enrolling just an hour ago. And then where it's going to go next in terms of me helping him duplicate success and reach his income goals, this story will really bring into focus what it's really all about. And those of you listening in who haven't enrolled yet, this will make it really, really clear like how you can succeed here in a number of different ways that are dependent on your situation, but that end up duplicating what must be duplicated to succeed. So the 3 things that very simply have to be duplicated, that all of the successful people here are duplicating, is they get pre-enrollees by referring people into the system. You can do that a number of different ways. I do it through online marketing. I pass those leads on to people who want to duplicate that, who are level 2s and level 3s. But other people like Aaron Parker or Aaron Rashkin or Robert Hollis, who are wildly successful, and their teams are wildly successful. I mean, Robert Hollis, you know, he's been here longer. He's been able to have time to develop his team longer. You're seeing success stories pop out every day. They're all using free methods. They're not doing online marketing like I am. And so, but what they are doing is they're referring people into the system. They just do it differently. There's lots of different ways to do it that you get to choose from. So it's really powerful. So that's the first thing. You're just referring people to the system. And MyDailyChoice, Hempworx, Hempworx is a subsidiary of MyDailyChoice. Same company, just kind of a different brand and different line of products, special line of products when we say Hempworx. MyDailyChoice has the best system in the industry. And the reason why is because Josh, the owner, used to build systems. That used to be what he did. And he sold and created systems for the entire industry. And when he put this company together, he decided to give his best system that he possibly could and not charge for it, completely free. So really, really cool. And that's just one of the many cool things about all of this, because they really are focused on making sure we have everything we need to succeed in a way I've never seen before. So they have this great system. All we got to do is refer people in, but how we do that is different. And we get to choose. If you don't want to spend money, if you're nervous about spending money, if you don't have any money, then you don't choose a method that costs any money. You choose a method that has been really, really successful for referring people into the system that costs nothing. You have these choices. But if you want to leverage your time more and, you know, build faster or supplement your free methods, then you can do the leads like I do. It's really cool. You've got choices, but what everyone's duplicating, regardless of their situation and how they want to do it, is they're referring people into their awesome system. And they keep it really simple and let the system do the work. There's videos in there that do the presenting. It's like really, really cool. And it starts placing people underneath people to show there's team strategy, to show that you're not alone in building your income and qualifying for commissions. It's really, really cool. And then step 2, what everyone's duplicating, is they are informing the people who became pre-enrollees, people who came to the system. They're following up. Some of us do it with automated emails. Some of us do it with manual emails. Some people like Aaron Parker's group do it with Facebook messaging, but it's all the same. They're following up. In my case, very automated methods. with those pre-enrollees to inform them of events and to inform them of important videos that will let them know what's going on. Very, very simple. It's really, really simple. And then step 3, those who enroll, we're plugging in to duplicate the same process. But here's the thing, and this story is going to share this that I'm about ready to go through, and then we'll move into connecting with you guys on goals and action plans and what your income objective is. It's not always going to be the exact same way. So let's look at this story and see how that shows up. So I got an email. Oh, well, let me go back. Remember I showed you this? So Robert, and again, if you're out there, Robert, hello. I haven't connected with Robert yet. Looking forward to working with you. Robert came from one of the new leads, this new lead source I started in May, because I'm always testing and improving and continue to do that and pass that on to you guys. Robert came from that new lead source that a lot of you are going to be plugging into. And then he reached out to me and he said something like, somewhere along the exchange, he said, I'm emailing, oh yeah, I know what it was. He started referring people, but he's at the free affiliate level. He came in without me talking to him. He signed up at the free affiliate level. And I hadn't had a chance to talk to him yet. And I didn't know really what he had seen or anything. And so I reached out to him and said, I see you're referring people in, but you're at the free affiliate level. Did you know that you really can't make, you're not making as much income that way as you could if you're at a different level? And if you want to work with me, like, let's work together, let's start a conversation here and see what your goals are and if I can help you reach them. And in that exchange, he came back saying, I'm emailing my entire MLM list from Max Health. I have over 150,000 email addresses of golfers that I'm going to market to as well. I could use some email templates as well as graphics or videos I can push out to social media. And on my website, I have over 250,000 social media followers. I just need a plan to market to them. Is there a matrix that shows the benefits of each buy-in level? So, so he obviously has experience. And so I'm going to work with him. And, so let's just kind of show this dialogue. So I said, don't email them just yet. This is me replying. Let's get your position set up first. And let me just back up and mention, like, those of you who are going to be using our lead source, like, understand, like, duplication doesn't necessarily mean, like, when one of your leads comes in from this lead source that we have, like Robert here, we don't just force Robert to duplicate the exact same process if that's not what's best for him. If he has other advantages to exploit, then we're going to help him do that. You see? And everybody will have a unique situation. Some people will be completely broke with no experience, but they're ready. They're ready to change their life. And we would have a different process for them to duplicate those 3 things that I mentioned. But in his case, he has this unique situation. So we're going to, obviously, it's very intelligent, right, for us to not force him to duplicate the same ad strategy that I am. Maybe he'll want to supplement with it, but he probably doesn't need to because of his experience. So when you're using the same lead source I am, and you're getting leads like this dropping into your lap, my job is to help you know how to identify what their strengths are. And that's a lot of what this call is about, as I work with you on goals and action plans. And they'll get to come to the calls too, and we'll get to work with them on goals and action plans. It's really important we help identify what their strengths are based on their situation. In his case, he's got a lot of people that he can contact, so we're going to help him do that. And you guys are getting to leverage me as leads are coming in to help you identify what their strengths are that are coming from this same lead source. If you use the same lead source I use, and I get to help you identify their strengths, and I'll work with you to help you start building leaders underneath you who actually produce. This is what we mean by you guys getting to leverage me in a way that is extremely unusual, because all of this is easy for me. And it's easy for me because I've been doing it for 20 some years. And you get to leverage that. Usually people in my situation don't want to work this hard, but I'm passionate. I love this company. I love what the product did for me, and I want to make $1 million a month. For me to do that, I have to help a lot of people get to a lot of income, or I can't get to my goal. So it's a beautiful situation if you understand it. So you get to use the same lead source. When they come in, I'm going to help you identify their strengths, their goals, their objectives, and make sure they have an action plan that's suitable for them. It might mean spending no money and using the free methods that our leaders are using, or it might mean using my lead source too, or in his case, it might mean tapping into what he already has He has tons of contacts that I'll help him build with. So I said, don't email them just yet. Let's get your position set up first. People generally follow the same process you did. So if you promote from the free level, because he's only at the free level, they'll duplicate that. And it will really make it difficult to get to an income quickly. People duplicate what you do. It's all about duplication. But again, that duplication doesn't mean we all do the exact same thing in the exact same way. It means we duplicate what all successful people do, starting with knowing the way that you come in, and if you're not purchasing product, then none of the people you bring in will purchase product. It's just the law of the universe. It's just how it works. It's leadership. If you come in at the executive level, so you're set up to optimize the comp plan, I will help you with the emails and follow-ups, identifying strong players and working with them to create momentum. Let me know as soon as you're in on auto ship at 90 BV. So, I go on just reiterating that. So when you guys use the lead source that I'm using and you get leads like this, I'm helping you work with them in this way. So it's not just like you're buying your leads and you're on your own. It's really, really powerful. And then he replied, I am emailing my entire MLM list. Oh, wait. No, that's the last one. There was another correspondence I wanted you to see. Well, I'll just stop right there and say he did enroll he asked some clarifying questions because there's a couple different executive packs. And I clarified, to be at level 2, you need to be at the executive pro pack. Some of you are in countries where you can't get the executive pro pack. And if you're in a country that you cannot get an executive pro pack, you just get the regular executive pack and you're able to participate in level 2. But if you're in the US, you get the executive pro pack and you get to work with me in this really, really cool way. So I wanted to share that story with you to help you understand that, yes, we're maximizing duplication to duplicate the success that we're all having in the company. But there's certain things that might be done uniquely. I don't want to force someone to buy a bunch of leads if they're broke, living out of their car. If someone's broke or maybe they're not quite there living out of their car, maybe they are. There are success stories in this industry that started that way. Yeah, but if they're in a tough spot financially and they're stressed out about money and they really are barely scraping by, then we're not going to force them to buy leads. That's dumb. We're going to plug them into duplicating the success process and support them with free methods. But if somebody has the funds to be able to duplicate the model I'm using and they don't have a lot of experience or contacts like he does to go to, or a big social media base like he has, then you get to duplicate the exact same process I'm using. This is a case study showing you how that works. It works really, really well. And then as people come in though, we're not going to force them to duplicate that. Like Robert, he might have the funds. He came in at the executive pro pack, the highest level. So he obviously has access to funds, but even in his case, using my lead source may not be the best bet. I can tell you right now, the best step for him is for us to work together to maximize the network he already has in place. How would you like to have someone coming in underneath you who's going to get my help and support to maximize their existing network? If you understand the compensation plan and you understand how that works, that alone can make you a significant full-time residual income. So I really want you guys to understand, when you have the right things in place, when you have the right opportunity, which this clearly is, it's a no-brainer. If that's an issue for you, you need to bring it up somewhere along the lines, talk with me, and get that sorted, because it's a no-brainer. We have an incredible opportunity in the company, in the system, in the comp plan, the products. It's just a no-brainer. Once you have that, all that's left on your end is the mindset. Most people are self-sabotaging. They're easily influenced by the media. They're caught up in drama, divisiveness. They're distracted constantly. They're almost addicted to a bunch of instant gratification stuff going on. They don't believe they can succeed. And there's nothing we can do with that unless that person has had enough and says, I'm willing to grow and surround myself with successfully minded people. So you have to have either a success mindset or finally get so fed up you're ready to develop one and ready to take action. Or we can't do anything with you no matter how great the opportunity is. But then third, and what's really powerful about all of this is you get to use the same process I'm using that is clearly effective and have my help in working and developing those contacts that are coming in, because this could have been your lead. And I would be working with him in the same way, helping identify what his plan of action should be and guiding him through that process. Okay, and then if somebody doesn't have contacts, they come in, we help them with whatever strategy would be best for them. Maybe it's using free methods. Most of the people in this company are successful for free methods, so there is a path there. Okay, guys, I wanted to share that with you and help you understand what duplication really means. Now we're gonna move into today's, I won't go over this, I was gonna go over that, but let's go ahead and move into the point of today's discussion, which is connecting with you guys on your goals and your action plans, making sure that the incomes that you have set up are aligned with an action plan that actually we both can believe is gonna get you there. Because if you're getting my mentorship, I need to believe it too, based on your experience and your mindset and the way you kind of answer questions and stuff. And you know, you don't wanna be dishonest. You don't wanna sound like you've got this really high vibration mindset. You want to be honest with me, because as soon as we get off the call, if your mindset's not that strong, if there's more doubt, then you're going to be working against that headwind. Like, we want to be honest, and we want to set up reasonable goals and expectations based on where you're at financially and with your mind. Your mind has more to do with it than anything. So I need to be clear about all of that. And so I'll have questions for you guys. And those of you who want to listen in and see what that process is like, you're going to learn a lot from it too. In fact, the first one of these that we did the other day, I had anticipated this, and it's great to have seen it. A lot of people who were listening in, who weren't able to connect with me yet, were able to revise their action plan based on the conversations that they listened to. And that will probably happen again today. So even if I can't get to you today, listen carefully, because a lot of it pertains, and it could cause you to make adjustments. And this is the big thing, and then we'll open this up. Go ahead and raise your hands, by the way, if you want me to connect with you. I will not be able to connect with all of you today, of course, but I'm doing another one Wednesday all day from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. for those I can't connect with today. And don't feel bad if I don't connect with you. I'm not discriminating or anything. I just kind of pick who flies in front of my eyes based on this little toolbar. But again, even if I don't connect with you today, you're probably going to learn a lot that you can then use to change or adapt your action plan, your income goal, your timelines, based on what you learned today. And then you can resubmit that to us. I had originally planned for this call to have you guys be panelists. I'm not quite there yet. I thought I had Father's Day yesterday. I just couldn't get organized enough to reach out and have time to hear back from people and make panelists and have it planned who I was going to speak to. So we're just going to go improv right now, and I'll just connect randomly with those that I can. And then I have in my email box the goals that you sent me. I'll have to search and find them, so it's a little bit clunky still. We're going to get this. Hopefully, I'll have this all honed in, be a little bit more organized on Wednesday. But it doesn't matter. It's about connecting with you and connecting with as many as I can before I fade. I'm a little rummy already from yesterday's barbecue. I overate, and whenever I do that, I feel a little sleepier than usual. So we'll see. I think I can go about 2 hours here, and then I'll need to get back to some other tasks. Okay, so 1 second here. I'm just gonna pause my, well, wait a minute. I'm gonna go to, I know not all of you, if you're not on our team yet, you're just listening in, and that's cool. But those of you on our team, I'm gonna post the goals and action plans that I'm working and talking through as we connect in this group. So I'm gonna leave this open. I'm gonna pause my screen for a second. And I'm gonna go to, let's see here. See if I can find your hands raised. I'm still getting used to this new setup on Zoom. It's a little bit different. We had to upgrade to accommodate a larger group. Okay, so lots of hands up. That's cool. I'm going to start with you, Kevin Thomas. Give me 1 sec. It's a little warm in here. I'm going to turn my air conditioning on, but hopefully that won't be too loud. Let's see here. Okay. 1 second, guys. So right now I'm going to go search for your action plan, Kevin. And I think I found it. Cool. And I'm going to paste that. I'm going to paste that in here for those of you who want to kind of see that. And I know not all of you can if you're not on our team, but you'll be able to follow along because I'm going to have this up anyway. And Kevin, 1 second. Kevin, you should be able to unmute yourself now. Go ahead and unmute yourself and say hello.
Hey, Mike, can you hear me?
I can. How you doing, man?
I'm doing all right, doing all right. Hanging in there. We got a big storm rolling through, so if I cut out, that's why it,
Is that
you
right?
know.
Is that a thunderstorm?
Yeah, out here in Maryland, we got a big storm rolling through, so I think we're about to at the end of it, but just in case we cut off.
All right, that'll be what happened to you. Okay. All right, so what's your monthly income goal? $5,000 per month. By what date do you plan to make it? September 1st. When did you enroll and what level are you at? Uh, you were one of the first who enrolled. What methods have you used so far to drive growth in your weak leg besides MLGS? Solo ads. Uh, what's IG?
Instagram.
Instagram. Okay, I want to hear a little bit more about that. You have a website and warm market. How do you plan to build your second leg going forward? If you don't know, I can help you with that. A combination of advertising you had written and free methods. Do you want, awesome. Do you want to use advertising? And if so, how much money per month can you afford without massive stress? $400 to $500 a month. And guys, I'm going to keep reiterating this. And some of you will get annoyed because I keep reiterating things. It's because I know that certain people are listening out there who don't catch it the first time. They get scared. They think, oh, I can't do this because I don't have $400 to $500 a month. Let me reiterate, you don't need to spend a dime to build this business. It's just one avenue that kind of gives you some extra leverage. But there's a lot of success stories in this company that build it completely for free. If you can only advertise with a small amount, like 300 a month or less, what's your plan to supplement the building of your leg? Remember, most successes did it completely free. Facebook Live, social media, YouTube, cool. Do you have experience in either online marketing, affiliate marketing, or network marketing? I've been doing online affiliate and network marketing since 2010. Okay, so let me start with the question I always ask, Kevin. You probably, if you were on the last call, you know what it is. Have you ever made $60,000 a year residual before?
Not residual, Mike. I had
And that's okay, by the way. I threw in the residual. I don't always ask it that way, but go ahead.
okay, yeah, yeah. I own my own business for quite some time, so so the answer to that is yes, yes.
Okay, and so what's the most you've made? And I know like a lot of times people don't usually talk about these kinds of things in public and with other people. It's considered private.
Right.
Obviously, in this industry, it's extremely important because the whole point is an escape plan, right? An escape plan from the grind of a typical traditional business, an escape plan from a job for some people. So that's why we need to get really clear on these things and work on a plan that allows you to achieve that escape plan. So Kevin, my next question for you is, what's the most you've ever made in a year?
Well, having my own business again, I at one time was paying myself anywhere between ten and $12,000 a month.
Okay, excellent. So, I mean, this isn't, and the reason why I'm asking that, guys, is because we need to know if he believes that he can achieve this. And obviously, this is in a range that he is comfortable with. Now, the next, the next thing I want to bring up, Kevin, is that you have the timeline set at September 1st, 2020. And I want us to get really deeply in touch
Yeah.
with how aggressive that is. And so if I could, I just want to address everybody because it may not seem to those that don't understand the model, it may not seem that aggressive, but I want people to understand that if you're able to get to 5,000 a month in a relatively short time frame in this industry, because of the progression of growth, and just looking at typical businesses, a business that would grow that fast to that level in this industry would be on track to being at about $50,000 a month, at least in about 3 years. And so I just want people to understand, like, that's a multi-million-dollar income. And in a company like this, we're talking about over the span of a lifetime, tens of millions of dollars that this would be putting him on track to earn. And so I just want to be really, over the course of a lifetime. So I just want to be really clear. And we're also talking about income that he gets to take the week off and it still keeps coming in. He gets to take the month off even, maybe not this early, but, a few months from this September timeline, and the money's still rolling in. So we need to get deeply in touch with how special this particular model of income is, and how an income this large in this short of a period of time really represents a progressive growth that leads to really monster income at like a 2 or 3 year mark, which again, we're talking, 750,000 a year, you would be on track for very realistically, if you were able to hit this target. Now, is that in line with what you were kind of envisioning, or is that, does that kind of skew a little bit how you were thinking of this?
Well, after listening to the first webinar we had the other day, I'm sort of kind of probably want to revise that to maybe $10,000 by the end of the year. And during that time, of course, working towards that $5,000 by the end of the summer.
Okay, awesome. Okay, because Kevin has made $100,000 a year that he paid himself, and I'm sure there was a lot more revenue coming in even than that he was managing, that were part of expenses, et cetera.
Yeah.
There's nothing, wildly unbelievable about this goal. I just want people listening in to understand just how big of a goal it is. Even $10,000 a month by the end of the year would mean he's on track to make millions within a few years, and to have that continue to, to sustain and support him for years to come. We're talking about millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars that he'd be on track to earn to grow that quickly. Absolutely can be done. Obviously, I've done this, and there's many in the company that have done this. And so, Kevin, now we're going to look at your action plan to see if it makes sense in that regard. I think from a mindset perspective and a belief perspective, just on
Mike, in my mind, I've already done it. I can see it already. So
okay.
It's just a matter of me.
Yeah, there you go. Excellent. Okay, so now let's look at the action plan and make sure it aligns. So
Okay.
1 second here, we just look at a few things. Okay, so tell me about Instagram. That's a strategy I'm not real familiar with. So kind of talk about what you've done with prospecting already with Instagram. I'm just curious about that.
Yeah, I have a couple of accounts on Instagram where I just post every now and then, and I post in groups. And I've been getting pretty good traction with Instagram, not as I would like. There are a lot of good programs out there on Instagram, which I'm getting ready to purchase. So Instagram is
programs that allow you to kind of leverage it in a bigger sense, or
yeah, marketing programs that I can use to get more leads. It's sort of kind of like a Facebook type of thing, marketing type of thing, but for Instagram.
Okay. And you're going to continue, that's going to be one approach that you continue to do?
Oh, sure.
Okay, and I just want people to know there's so many different ways. And he has his website listed here. You don't have to have a website. Most people didn't use a website, but it's certainly another way to get traffic. Kind of explain to me like how you use the website, or how you plan to use the website to generate leads.
Well, I have a personal website, of course, that I set up through Profit Platform, my own personal website. I also have a website dedicated to CBD and hemp oil, which I'm just now getting started. I have about 10 pages on it already, and I know that that's a long-term.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop you right there and say probably that to get to $10,000 by the end of the year a month. That's what you mean, a month, right? 10 grand a month.
Yes.
Yeah, to get to 10 grand a month, the website's probably not going to play a factor in that, because you're going to be sitting there dinking around too much to get it up and running.
Gotcha.
And you need to be a lot more proactive to hit a goal that fast.
Gotcha. Okay.
So we really need to be the time needs to be spent connecting with people. Like I shared with you the dialogue that I had with Robert, right, earlier today, who came from one of the leads. We need to create a lot of those engagements.
Okay.
And if you're sitting there on a website, you're just spending a lot of time getting it set up to eventually get leads, that's not getting you there fast enough to hit a goal that fast.
Yeah, I know that already, Mike. I was just setting that up as far as like a long-term type of thing.
Okay, so I'm gonna
used to build a website,
and that's cool. But for the next step of this, I want you to revise it, and chisel off anything that's not going to help you hit 10 grand a month.
Okay.
By the end of the year.
Okay, cool.
Tell me more about Warm Market. What have you done so far in that regard? Is that reaching out to people on Facebook Messenger, calling them, or what kind of transpired there?
Well, I've done a little bit of Messenger. I've done a lot of family and friends. I've exposed a lot of the products to family and friends. And of course, I'm all in with the products. I love them. My wife loves them. She's told her friends. So I have a couple of customers, and seems to be going really well.
So I'm just curious, and again, for those listening, you don't have to go to Warm Market, but when we're talking about Warm Market, because it is an option, Uh, I want to ask you, Kevin, have you asked any of them if they know anybody who's incredibly successful, who like drives a nice car, who always has the nice clothes or the nice things, who just kind of looks at life through, a filter of abundance and lives that way? In your own way, have you asked them that to see if you could hone in on a few contacts that are highly successful?
Mike, that's a very good question, and I have not done yet. That's a very good idea.
So I would say if you want to get to 10 grand a month by the end of this year, which is going to put you on track to, 6 figures a month in about 3 years,
Okay.
which is, you absolutely can do, but it's going to mean if we're talking warm market, if you're going to leave that on here as part of your strategy, which since it's already here, I hope you do. Again, reiterating to those of you listening, you don't have to go to warm market, but for some of you that are comfortable with that or want to have that be a piece of what you do, you can absolutely include it. And sometimes it can be a pretty miraculous, fast way to success. Kevin, if you're going to leave it here, which I hope you do, make sure it's only, obviously you want to expose people to the products and stuff. I do too, but not really not really build business. It's just kind of just to make sure that I'm connected to that process. Cause I want to get people's feedback on the product. I want to expand my business in that way, and sometimes it can bring something back, but it's not like where I'm thinking I'm going to make my biggest money short term, right? So for short term growth, when you have warm market there, if you expose someone to the product or the opportunity, always ask them, who do they know that's wildly successful, that's really successful in life, and see if you can get their contact information, and we can call them for them.
Okay.
And just, hey, so-and-so referred me to you. They say you're really successful. Successful people typically are really open to opportunities, and wanted to see if you were open to an opportunity right now with what's happening in the economy. You open, and a lot of them will be. Successful people, guys, are actually a lot more likely to be open to opportunities and that kind of a conversation than the majority of people.
Okay. In my field of business, Mike, I do know a lot of successful franchise owners, and I have been talking to them about it. It's kind of hard trying to get the quote unquote traditional guys to believe in the online marketing stuff, because they're out there working and have been working for years and in their traditional businesses. So that's a market that I plan to hit really hard within the next couple of months or so.
Well, okay, start by making the list, get the list ready, and maybe we'll bring Robert Hollis into that a little bit.
Okay, cool.
That's Robert Hollis's secret sauce.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because, you get one successful person who has the right mindset and boom, it explodes. So let's explore that. Absolutely. Follow up with me on that.
Okay.
And then, okay, so advertising $400 to $500 a month. So, that's on the lower end, but you're supplementing it with these really cool ways. So I think we're good, man.
Okay.
I think we're good. I'd like to see a lot of Facebook Lives and social media. Again, you guys don't all have to do that, but Kevin, you've got the experience and stuff. You want to hit 10 grand a month by the end of this year. You just will throw it out there everywhere. And I would just say, when you initially are doing, have you done any of those yet? Facebook Live, social media, YouTube?
No, I have not, Mike. I'm getting ready to do my first Facebook Live here probably in a couple of weeks or so. As a matter of fact, I have a schedule for this weekend coming up. So that will be my first Facebook Live, and I'm looking forward to it. So we'll see how that goes. Okay.
So I would put it this way. The moment you're doing a Facebook Live or a YouTube video, and guys, this isn't all of you. This is unique to Kevin. It's me internalizing what he's shared and me processing that with everything that I now know about his goals and his background and his belief level and his opportunities that are unique to Kevin. And so what I'm sharing back to him is unique to Kevin. So don't think you have to do what he's doing. There are a million different ways to build this business to duplicate what I talked about earlier. Okay, so make sure that that's really clear. But Kevin, in your case, I would sum up everything this way. If you, let me put it this way, when you get to the point where doing a Facebook Live, sitting down, turning it on, and sharing any aspect of the opportunity, or doing a YouTube, when that becomes, the day that becomes a habit where you have no emotional connection to
Gotcha.
it at all. It's just a part of
Yeah.
your habit of the day.
Okay.
And you don't think it doesn't become an emotional big deal.
Okay.
That's the day you mark down on the calendar that you've started, that this
Okay.
whole thing really has started. That means you're tapped in.
Okay. Okay.
When you keep, when you're in the energy of getting ready and getting ready and getting ready, it's an indication that there's a massive resistance there, and you're not like attracting effortlessly. So
Okay.
when you initially do the Facebook lives, when you initially do a YouTube, you're gonna feel, all these emotions. Just,
Okay.
deep breaths, and remember, like, it doesn't really matter. You know how many bad YouTube videos I put out there, and I post them anyway. I go, oh my God, that was so, like, I was rambling. Like, I don't even know what I was trying to say, but I load it anyway, and I don't give a damn.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
that's the most important part of it. And then tomorrow I do another one, and then the next week I do another one.
Yeah.
And then one of them does really well.
Okay.
And bring, and I think my videos, I haven't counted them, but have brought in at least 20, 30 executives, 20 or 30 directors, and they still do, from ones I posted a long time ago, because some of them do well.
Okay.
And it just doesn't even matter. You just need to make it a habit. It shouldn't take long. You incorporate it in. Now, again, you guys listening don't all have to do that. There's so many different ways to build. There's so many success stories that didn't do one YouTube video or didn't do one Facebook Live. But if you're going to incorporate that in, and I think that you should, just start practicing, knowing that it really, this whole thing begins. You're going to know that your energy is right, and that you're approaching it in an attractive, effective way the moment that just becomes a habit, like, getting your morning coffee. It shouldn't be a big deal.
Okay.
Okay, well, I mean, this sounds good. This isn't everybody, but with what Kevin said, he should be making a big list of his franchise owners, because they're hurting right now, aren't they?
They are. They really are, Mike, and they're looking for different things and different ways to make money. And I've been, exposing them, to different online marketing things. But it's sort of
I
uphill battle.
I
Yeah.
would like
Yeah.
to call those with you or for you.
Okay.
So make a list of those. Make a list of successful people, and I'm
Okay.
going to talk with Robert Hollis, because I don't do a lot of this, but why not? I know they're hurting right now, and they're probably a little scared, and so they're entrepreneurial. So let's give them a shot. But again, guys, everyone has their unique strengths. That's a really big one. Kevin, you might be surprised, and it's probably
Yeah.
your greatest strength right there. But you might need some help. So I'll help you. So
Okay.
go
Great.
ahead and follow up with me when you have that list made, and pester me until we get it done.
Okay. I sure will, Mike.
All right, awesome, Kevin. Looking
Okay.
forward to running with you.
All right, man. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, talk to you soon. Okay, cool. All right, so let's juxtapose that to someone else. I'm going to go, we got another Kevin, Chris, Torab, Bill. I'm going to go to Chris Cunningham, and you guys will hear it, it might be a completely different plan of action, but again, duplicating the same things that everyone who's successful duplicates that I talked about earlier. Kevin or Chris, 1 second. Hey there, Chris. Go ahead and unmute yourself and say hello.
Hey, Mike, you got me?
Gotcha. How you doing, man?
Good. How you doing?
Doing really good. Yeah. So let me find your sheet. 1 second here.
Yeah, I just re-emailed it to you too. I had a typo, so
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, give me one
beginning
second.
of your inbox.
Okay, cool. This is actually working pretty well. I was trying to figure out the best way to organize all this. It's actually working out just fine. Yeah, so you came up here. 1 second here. Now you wrote something above that says, sorry we didn't connect tonight. I don't need that part, right? I can just start with what's your monthly income goal and start from there in terms of copying it.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'll check out what you wrote me a little bit later. Okay. So let me turn this back on, and let me post this.
Yeah, so I just meant June 2021 for the date there. I think I put June 2020 in the first email. So.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, let me take a look at that. Can you guys see my screen? Do you see it, Chris?
Yep.
Okay. So
Yeah, so that's the updated one that I fixed. Yeah, that's good.
okay, cool. So monthly income goal, 5K a month by June 2021. Uh, when did you enroll? And again, and I'm, I think I know the answer to this question, but I'm just going to ask you anyway, Chris. What's the most you've made, or give me some kind of idea of how that compares to what you've earned before.
Sure. So I'm being in real estate and property development. So I've had some years that were mid, six figures. My consistent regular income now is about like 10 grand a month, kind of on autopilot, 2 days a week, maybe worth of work. That's just something that I've built over a good 18 years being self-employed. But that was a grind getting it to that point for sure. So most of my big income years are totally in a bubble, working like crazy, no leverage whatsoever.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted to just touch upon for those listening in. You've been very successful for much of your professional life, yet here you are, working this into an already busy schedule. And so I just wanted you to just share with people for a second, like, why would you do that? Like, obviously it's the residual, you started to get to it, but just kind of share with people that piece of it that aren't really business experienced and may not fully understand that part.
Yeah, sure. So like my biggest, most successful years, like when I look at what it took to accomplish that, like at the time it was just put your head down, be determined, get it done. But now I look at it and I'm like, wow, how did I do that? I would never want to try to take that on again. That was crazy. So it's just being dependent on yourself all the time it just takes a toll on you, and you can't pursue other things because you're just so laser focused on one thing that's taking all your time. So there was no way. And then I just hit a point where I couldn't grow anymore. Like I can only manage so many job sites at once, and you hit that level and that's it for growth, versus this model is just completely different.
So would it be accurate to say you're here because you want to get on an entrepreneurial track that compounds over time, so there's room for continual growth, but that's also freeing up your time so that you're not constantly in the grind?
Yeah, I mean, because that's the thing. Like when you're in a like labor intensive business, you can't just turn it off. I'll be in the middle of a 6-month project. That's all you're focused on for that 6 months. And then like the bubble aspect of those kind of projects too is interesting. Like where you're actually able to work with other people, help other people, get different perspective versus just being in your own little world all the time.
Exactly. Cool. Okay. Very cool. Okay. So as far as his mindset and his belief level for $5,000 a month, obviously no problem there. So he wants to make it by June 2021. So next year, very reasonable. So you obviously started with this at the very beginning. And what methods did you use so far? Solo ads, email, old lists, messenger, social media posts, personal contacts, and YouTube videos. So let me jump to the personal contacts piece because that's something we haven't talked about a lot. I just had that conversation with Kevin. Is that something you want to continue doing, or you want to, or no?
I mean, I think that will develop over time as I become more successful. I think I have a lot of people in my personal life kind of watching from the sidelines. But so far, I just brought in like 2 people to kind of be my personal enrollments in each leg. And one of those personal contacts is like taking off with it too in my strong leg. So I haven't thought out to roll a lot of personal friends, but I know they're watching.
I just want to extend the same thing to you that I did, Kevin, that if you do have a few people that you wrote down that, that are highly successful, that, are go getters, have, success mindset already, and you wanted me to call them for you or call them with you just to see how it goes, you might be surprised because you're able to kind of leverage the success that I've had and be able to bring somebody in who just kind of takes off. So just let me know if that is something you want to do. Looking here at how do you plan to build your second leg going forward? Let's look at the forward going. I want to ramp up advertising and incorporate myself into the marketing as much as possible. If you told me when I first met you and Robin that you guys were going to convince me to be in videos, I would have ran for the hills. So thanks for easing me into that. Yeah, and you do great with them. It's still not natural for me and quite painful at times, but and determination will overcome anything. Absolutely. And it's good for me in general to do it just from a personal development standpoint. Absolutely. And let me just speak to everybody listening. Again, you don't have to do videos. It just speeds it up. And this is the right attitude. Like, you're getting close to a major breakthrough of growth in the incomes department with this, when you just kind of give up the resistance and the making a big story about it being, a big deal, and you just kind of go with the flow and see it as a process of personal development. That's when you become really attractive to people, because that's attractive as opposed to kind of hiding out and which isn't obviously attractive, and being scared, right? Like a lot of us have been or experienced it, and many of you still are. So that's awesome. I'm really glad that you're embracing that. And the reason why that's cool, again, those of you who aren't ready for that don't have to do it. You can be leveraging the videos that I've created, et cetera. It just speeds it up because, the emails that are going out from you have your name on them. And so if you're linking into something where you're speaking to them too, and you could be referring to me and stuff, saying Mike's doing an event, or, Mike, my partner, did a video, you could still just be passing them on to me. But because they're getting the emails from you and they see that, okay, there's this guy, Mike, who's successful, but now Chris works with Mike, and Chris is also available to work with me, and he's obviously part of this process, it speeds it up, because then they feel more comfortable reaching out to Chris with a question and feeling like they've got that extra support. Again, you don't have to. You could just, in your emails, refer everybody to my events and videos. That works too. This just speeds it up. Ultimately, leading others is how I want to build my second leg. I realize I have a significant financial advantage over most others. That's the result of 18 years of insane work. And Chris, have you talked about that in your videos yet? That, that very thing that you've had this, you've worked insanely hard as an entrepreneur. You've had a lot of success. Like, have you drilled down on that message at all?
No, not specifically, but I definitely do want to do like kind of a personal intro video to be sending to pre-enrollees. So that's probably a main subject I should hit on in that.
I mean, you're a real, one really cool thing about you is you're really humble. You're really, modest in your communication. But I think there's times when it benefits others to it's not boasting, but maybe you kind of feel like it is, and that's why you hold back. But just to share like the success that you've had and make it really vividly clear that you know what success is, you know what it takes, and you obviously have a success mindset, to make that really clear in really poignant, really succinct ways without feeling like you have to go around the bush about it or be bashful about it. I think that's something to start taking on, because it helps people immediately realize that they're partnering with somebody who, knows what success means through their own experience. You're modest and humble, and that's a really cool trait. But sometimes it's good to do that to help others, because then they know they're partnering with somebody who's been successful. So being able to work with others and see them accomplish life-changing things, like, that'd be really cool stuff to share, is a huge draw for me. For you to be able to say who you're looking for, what kind of person you're looking to work with. I can't teach people what I do now for income, but this business I can help with many, absolutely. I know many won't believe this. I mean, I would start ridding this out of your mind. You're right. Many don't have the confidence that they can be successful, period. And there's a number of reasons for that. And we won't go into that right now. But you really want to start to there are so many people who are ready. It's insane. And when you really start to just think about and focus on them and speak to them, they start to appear. And then you can really serve a lot of people and help a lot of people by just plugging them into the same system. We're paid for just sharing the vision of the company and the opportunity and the coolness of the products and the vision of where the company's going. That's what we're compensated for. It helps the company expand, and it empowers a lot of people at the same time. It's really simple, and there are so many people that are open and ready. So just think about them and how many there really are, and then your language and everything speaks directly to them. Do you want to use advertising? And if so, how much money a month do you want to spend without stress? So you're ready to spend a really high ad budget, 1 to 3K. And so that being the case, and I want people to understand you don't need to do that to be successful. That being the case, I mean, I'm going to say right now, obviously with that high of an ad budget, your income goal of 5K a month in a year is very, very realistic. But I also just want to be really clear that I'm going to be working with you very directly with those leads. Like, I want to like follow almost on a, I mean, maybe not quite daily, but every other day. Like, what are you emailing them? You know, what's happening? And we're going to be having lots of events that we can touch base on like this. But those of you with high ad budgets, I want to make sure that you're getting the most out of those. And I also want to be available for, like, let's say someone asks you a question, and you know, you might do your best to answer, but then immediately post in a Facebook Messenger, me, you, and them, and say, hey, Mike, I just want to introduce you to so-and-so. Here's a question he asked. Here's my answer. Just wonder if there's anything additional you wanted to add. You know, and I'm freeing up my schedule. This blitz that I'm starting on July 1st is all about me getting everything ready so that I could be there to help support that and then get them up and running and looking at what their you know, advantages are so they can exploit those and run, which obviously builds your income and helps build their income. So I just want you to know that that's the environment we're creating to get a lot of, so you'll have a
That's
lot
awesome, man.
yeah. 5K, I would want to make sure it's being spent wisely. Absolutely. I mean, you know, were you on the call yesterday, Chris, where we went over the new lead source?
Yeah, I
Okay,
was.
yeah. So I mean, you guys are gonna be just doing the same leads I am, and I'll be working them with you just like I work them myself. If you can only advertise with a small amount, like okay, so that's not in your situation. I'd also like to get better at using Messenger, so I'm going to do a deeper dive. So yeah, I mean, one thing that we can do to get more out of those leads is, you know, search online. When you get a lead, you know, search online and see if we can find them on Messenger so we can hit them there too and say, hey, you know, I'm just making sure you get my emails, you know, because a lot of people, they opt in and they might not connect the dots right away when they get the emails. So we want to, like, anything we can do to make that happen. Same thing with text messaging. And I know we can only do so much. And when you have a large ad budget like this, you might not be able to text message everybody and stuff. We are going to look into broadcast text messaging tools. I don't know if it was you or someone else who said some of those can be kind of expensive, so we'll look at that. But what I'm saying is we will maximize, you know, work together to maximize different ways you can make sure you're following up with them so we can sort for the people that are ready. And then you bring me in to support you with getting them up and running. But this is great, Chris. I mean, yeah, I don't see any issue with this at all. I mean, you've always been very, very reasonable about timelines and stuff, and this is extremely reasonable. Do you have any questions or anything? Like, I think this is.
I think just my one question with the new lead source is just, are we going to have to do anything different to kind of translate the video that they're seeing of Robin and you to us? So there's not, like, it's not disjointed, the messaging there.
I mean, some people won't. I mean, some people aren't going to want to do video of their own. And so in their case, they're just going to send people into that. I mean, the emails should say, hey, these are my business partners, you know, Mike and Robin. And if you decide to work with us, you're going to get to work with them. You know, they're going to want to use that language. And you really should probably too early on. But if you're going to be making videos, like making an intro video, I would suggest between now and July 1st, yeah, you're going to say, you know, work on making a candid video, like that doesn't feel too rehearsed, where you're just, you know, you might have to do it different every day. You try it a different way where you can just be really candid with them and say, it's Chris. I'm looking for people that really want to accomplish something special in their life this year. And you use your language.
Yeah.
And then say at the end of it, you know, after you kind of share with them the success you've had and why you're doing this. And then you would say, you know, if you click the link below, you're going to meet my business partners, Mike and Robin, and they're going to kind of break down the strategy that we use to build with. You'll learn more about the opportunity. And then if you have questions, go ahead and connect with me, and I can connect you with Mike if you have questions I can't answer and help you get up and running. So that would, you know, create that congruency. Does that make sense?
Yep. Yeah, it makes sense.
Okay. But yeah, this is a good plan, man. Let's roll.
Yeah, let's do it.
Sounds good. Okay, so again, between now and July 1st, I've got a lot to clear. I want to get a new comprehensive review video done. So what is today? I got like a week. And we have some new funnel videos that we want to test. I'm writing some scripts for Robin so that we can test other lead, you know, generation methods too. Then July 1st, I should be clear to just work the leads with you guys and be much more available for that. That's what the Blitz is all about. All right, Chris, looking forward to it.
Okay, good to talk with you.
Yeah, talk to you soon. Okay, awesome. Let's connect with James. One second, James. You out there, James?
Yep, I'm
How
here.
you doing?
Good, thanks. How about you?
Doing really good. So one
That's
sec.
good.
Let me. Did you send your? I think you did. I saw it. Your
Yeah,
thing on the email. Okay, one sec.
might look like Global One-to-One, not my name. I forget which email account I used.
Okay, one sec. Yeah. So I see.
It's in there. Let me see if I can find it again.
I think you. I think I have you here with my. Yeah, here it is. Okay.
Yeah, you should have it.
I'm just not sure. Okay, so it depends on the time frame. First, you get to 20K, then 50K. Is that's the one, right? Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome. Okay, one second, guys. Okay, here we go. So I just want to post it here so we can follow easily. Okay. So I mean, obviously, you've had a lot of success in your life, and so you're used to high goals.
Yep.
So that I don't think that's a concern. Just to kind of walk people through this process, and then we'll look at the action plan just to make sure, meld minds there. It depends on the time frame for the income goal. You said first to get to 20K, then 50K, then 100K per month. And guys, just so you know, that's James can, from a mindset perspective, a belief perspective, that's where James is at. He's not someone just throwing that up out in the air. By what date? Yeah, I'd love your feedback based on your experience, but I think 20K monthly is somewhere between 50K and 100K affiliate. I think that would be accurate. Of course, it could be a lot more. It just depends exactly how it's laying out, but I think that's a good base.
I suppose it depends on the mix of jumpstart and residual that
Yeah,
you're.
exactly. But
Yeah.
I think that's pretty reasonable. That's about how I've been looking at it. I'm not sure where we can get there by the end of the 90-day blitz. No, probably not by the 90-day blitz, but I would like to be well on the way and want to hit 20K per month. Yeah, so guys listening, it's all about momentum. So we'll kind of talk about, what a benchmark can be at the end of the 90-day blitz to be there by a certain date. I want to hit 20K per month latest the end of this year. So to get to 20K a month by the end of this year, we should definitely be at least at 5K a month at the end of the 90-day blitz. It would be
Right.
does that sound about right to you?
Yeah.
Then move to higher levels in 2021. Okay, perfect. Okay, YouTube methods used so far: YouTube, weekly webinars, Udemy solos, emailing my list, and recently starting Facebook marketing. So for Facebook marketing, what has that been?
So I started doing some things. Aaron had a nice class he did with Fraser Brooks. I don't know if you saw that one. And so I took a little bit of Fraser Brooks' course on Facebook marketing and jumped into Aaron's teaching as well. So I've started a couple of things, but one is like every day I email everybody who's had a birthday and start to reach out to them on my Facebook list.
And now, is that something Fraser had talked about, or that Aaron talked about?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So it's a really kind of interesting, creative way to talk to 10 or 15 people a day automatically, because I've got about 4,500 friends or so.
So let me share just what comes to mind when you say that, though. Like, that's a really good method for somebody that doesn't know where else to start. But if you want to make that big of an income, you're going to want to be selective about who you're reaching out to. So I just want to ask, like, are you reaching out to people who are successful that you know to be successful, or just kind of randomly these people that are on your contact list?
So there's about four tiers to that. So that's like the most basic tier is just I would cover everybody in my list over the course of a year, obviously doing that. But more. So the other thing I did, like I think it was last Thursday and Friday, I reached out to everybody who's in my Facebook group, which is about 80 people, and friended every one of those and started to initiate chats with them. I've done the same thing with all of my team members, and we'll pretty soon start to use the MDC app to reach out systematically to all of my pre-enrollees. So, Facebook marketing has a number of tiers. I've also just been doing some different kind of posts, more daily posts, and using my story. So just kind of activating the whole different aspects of Facebook. I have a Facebook fan page, I have a Facebook group, and I have my own personal profile. So I'm using all three of those as well in different ways to to cultivate interest, put out value, post videos, do lives.
So from here, from this point forward, to hit these kinds of income goals, like 20,000 a month by the end of this year, which would put you on course to $1 million a year within 2.5 years.
Right.
From here, it's going to be all about focusing and honing in on people who are either already successful, who are also hungry for taking action and want to work with somebody who's in the zone, or people who have experience in the industry, who may not have had a lot of success, but they understand the language, they understand the game plan, and you really only want to speak to them.
Mm-hmm.
So, from this point forward, it's things like, hi, it's James Lockett. I have had tremendous success, in my life, but I am extremely excited. Again, this is not necessarily the language you use, but just to button it up quickly so that you kind of get what I mean. I'm extremely excited about a new opportunity I'm involved with right now, and I am seeking people who are ready for an incredible financial breakthrough. I'm looking for people who've either had a lot of success in various ventures of their own and are looking to run with somebody who can help them accomplish extraordinary goals, or people who maybe struggled, but you understand the industry of network marketing and you're looking for the right vehicle and the right partner, who can help you accomplish something extraordinary this year. Like, it really needs to be that energy. And I know, that's what, like 20, 30 seconds, and it says a lot, right? Like, it's speaking very directly to a certain group of people.
Yeah, and that's kind of the Robert Hollis and Aaron Parker script. So yeah, I've actually got all that scripted out, and again started. That's probably the second or third prong that I'm also using. So,
but I guess what I'm getting at is, as people reach out to you with interest in stuff, so that part of it's just the beginning. That needs to permeate through every exchange you have. So for example, someone reaches out to you, and I think this is why I've had a lot of success. Someone reaches out to me and they ask a question that feels a little weak. Like, I can just tell, like, their head's not in the game, right? Like, I call them out on it, and I don't mind losing them, which I could have signed them up. I could have danced with them and lured them in, but I know that I need to challenge them right now. Or if I dance with them and bring them in, they're probably not going to do anything, and they probably won't even sign up anyway. Or if they do, they're not going to come in at a serious level. Because my goals are big, and guys, you don't have to build this way. This is a conversation with millionaires. So this isn't, our conversation right now is not going to make sense to a lot of people. And True. That's okay. You don't have to build like this. You don't have to think like this to be successful here. And you don't have to be a millionaire to be successful. Because if you're making $5,000 a month residual, you're basically, it's like having a million in the bank. Because it's really hard to get that kind of freedom. So keep that in mind, that James in my conversation right now does not pertain to everybody, but if you understand that, you can still glean value from it. James, it's, you know, it's a different kind of energy. I know you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, sure.
But it's sometimes tough to make that full leap. It's a little bit more attitude. It's willing to let a lot of people go so you're not wasting your time to get to that goal. Like, you have to really make sure that you're investing, you know, that you're working with people who are willing to rise up, right? Or they're pissed off at you and they don't want to talk to you anymore. And it's not like that's what you're trying to do. It's just you need decisions. It's all about you're making people make decisions quickly, because if they're not able to do that, if you asking them to do that offends them, you're just going to be wasting your time bringing them in if you want to get to that big goal fast. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it sure does. And there's a lot of examples. I mean, like I just rejected a call from somebody, I won't say what country they were in, but I sent them a web page and they tried to click on a lead capture page and they couldn't even figure out how to click on the lead capture page. So.
Right, exactly.
Uh,
In which case, I don't give up on them.
no, I'm not. I'm just using that as an example.
No, I know. I would send them an email saying that, like, that here, you know, my goals are extraordinary. And in order to accomplish those goals, I need to help, you know, others accomplish extraordinary goals. And so if you can get that figured out, then I know that, you know, you can move forward with me. But if not, then I don't think that I can help you. If you want to accomplish something amazing, get that figured out however you need to, and let me know when you got it figured out and come back.
Yeah, I guess, Mike, what I'm getting across, we've already been doing this for 6 months, but I've been in the Video a Day Club for 4 years already. So I've got a lot of content out there. I have probably 15,000 people in different YouTube channels that I'm addressing in different ways. I've got 160 YouTube videos for My Daily Choice already out there.
So what I'm getting at is, from this point forward, it's quality over instead of quantity.
Yeah, I'm confident I have the foundation laid.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and
right.
now it's just like this really direct message. And what I mean by quality is, it's not that you're not putting out quality content, but I mean, you're only using language that fast decision makers, top producers will understand.
Yeah, I want to get more on the leadership track, because we've all seen in multiple opportunities, and you've got the same thing going on here. There's a lot of people that get involved and they will do a certain amount of things, but there's still the old 80-20 rule, right? You need to find those 20% of the people that do 80% of the work.
Exactly. And in your case, with your goal, what I'm kind of driving at with your goal, you actually have, like, you got to find the 80-20 rule within the 80-20 rule, meaning like you need to find the 20% of the 20%.
Yeah.
That do exponentially more than that first group. So again, you're looking for people like me. You're looking for people, and there's lots of different versions of that, different personality traits of that. They might shave more regularly than I do, and
right.
dress a little bit better than I do, but they are successful people, or people who have known success, or people who have experience in the industry and they understand the language and they're ready to rock and roll now. And where the economy's at right now, there's more of them ready to take action than ever. But you have to speak directly to it. So the moment they come across your video, within those first few seconds, they know you're talking to them and only them.
Mm-hmm.
And the interesting thing is, when you do that, and I know you know this, but kind of speaking to everybody here, when you do that, you do also end up getting others to rise, right? That wouldn't otherwise, to get in touch with their bigger goals and step up and not waste your time, to understand they need to be on their best behavior when they're connecting with you, because we're getting stuff done. So again, let's see what on the advertising, what you said. Yes, I have done around 10 Udemy ads now. So Udemy, for example, in your case with your income goal, the language needs to be speaking directly to network marketers. Like, if you were to do a Udemy ad, like, it should be like we're talking about, you're looking for successful people who've already had success in the industry, or those that have maybe struggled, but they're ready to get serious and they want to run with somebody who is accomplishing extraordinary goals this year. Like it's that kind of language. It's not really just about generating a lot of leads. It's about generating the right kind of leads. So it's a little bit different, and it's not the kind of lead like the ads that I put out there. And we talked about me going this direction, provide these, and I haven't provided it yet. But that's the kind of language you need to provide. I didn't do that from the start because most people don't have the kind of goals you have and aren't able to work with those kinds of leads, right? Like most people, if they get a lead like me, I'm going to see right away they don't know what they're doing. But if I were to connect with you, I'd see I've got somebody who knows what they're doing. So you can use ad language that attracts those people. You get less leads, but you get higher quality leads, and things are going to move much, much faster. I would be glad to plow earnings back into the business. Basically, I would like to use existing team and pre-enrollees to get momentum. I did 2 more solos this week. Pretty much any income over 3,000 per month I could put back into the business. Plan besides advertising. Okay, so yeah, I mean, honestly, you have this phenomenal foundation. I just think it's like just getting really, really crystal clear on who you're looking for, like we've been talking about, and just making sure that comes across from beginning to end with every interaction. It's a faster pace. It's decision time all the time. With the prospects, and even in the video, that's the energy. It's like they have already decided or are deciding now that they want to accomplish something extraordinary this year. It's that kind of language to hit this kind of goal this fast, and you have obviously the full ability to do it, but that's what it will sound and feel like in every interaction.
Yeah. Curious, Mike, when Scott, I guess the lead source you've been working on is has been targeting MyDailyChoice, and one of the things we've been talking about for a while is also using the Profit platform, broader system and doing some advertising through that. What's your take? That's probably not 90-day blitz because that's a 60 to 90-day maturation process. But just give me some thoughts on your timetable for that, because again, that's another nice way to generate.
I mean, yeah, we're doing it and we've been, posting the updates on it. We're testing different ads and looking for, a good hit, which is just a trial and error process. So, I mean, we're doing it, but there's no timeline on when we're going to find that hit. I mean, I would guess, in the next 2 months or so, we'll find it. For those that don't know, what he's referring to there is the level 3 strategy, which takes a lot more time to set up. And even after you have your funnel set up, it takes time to test all these different ads and stuff. And Robin and I are investing with our money and trying and testing different things and kind of sharing the process. It's just the process. And you test differently, capture pages and landing pages until you get your cost per lead down low enough that you're breaking even within the first week, ideally. So even the first month would work, so that you basically have free advertising budget. And so, James, we're in the thick of it now. We're testing it, and we've been kind of posting updates on that. But it's just, and I don't know the exact day we're going to hit that. That's the nature of that beast, and why you don't want to rely on that to get the momentum going here. But certainly, I would expect that strategy to become a big part of sustaining and growing. Sometime this year, once we nail down that right combination of ads and lead capture pages to get the price per lead down low enough.
Yeah, and
I've always done it, but it just takes a long time. And in the meantime, you're still building.
Yeah, constantly. Like I've got my regular Monday webinar in a couple of hours, 2 hours from now, an hour and a half from now. So be ready for that.
Awesome.
And I've also got some leaders that I've worked with in other things in the past, like any of us that have been around for a while. So it might be fun for us to do some 3-ways in that area too.
Absolutely. Yeah, write them down, identify them, so we can just hop on and just like start reaching out. I mean, I'd like them to have at least become a pre-enrollee and watch the videos first.
Yeah.
But once they've done that, let's follow up.
Absolutely. But the other thing that I do want to do, we talked about this the other day, I do want to model the free advertising. That's why I've been doing a little bit more, digging more into Robert Hollis and attending his briefings the last couple of weeks, and Aaron Parker And by the way, Aaron's interviewing Robert Hollis at 6 o'clock Pacific tonight. So,
Tonight?
yeah,
Okay.
just got an email about that.
Aaron Parker is?
Yeah, Aaron Parker's bringing on Robert Hollis to talk
Oh,
about
cool.
the
Cool.
big event from Saturday.
Yeah,
So,
I'd like to have Aaron. For those that don't know, Robert Hollis is one of the millionaire earners in the company. Phenomenal guy. Everything through free methods, and he just keeps it really, really simple. And so we bring that into the process too for those that want to duplicate that model, which is heavy on relationships. And his secret sauce, James, which you probably have heard, is he identifies successful people and just straight contacts them because he doesn't want to dink around. That's why he, got to such a huge income goal. So lots of different ways to build, and Robert Hollis is definitely one that we introduce people to, and I continue to learn from as well.
yeah, his Vision Facebook page is very good, but he does a Saturday morning briefing, which I think we can recommend to everybody also. So yeah, I'm trying to plug my team into that, and but that's where a lot of I want to model doing a lot of that free method. I'll continue to do everything else and follow up with my paid methods. But what I want to model for people a lot during the 90-day blitz is a good bit of that, so they can see how to do it from a visual demonstration, if you like.
And again, I know I'm starting to sound repetitive, but I just wanted to end it with saying, to hit this goal that you have, it's going to all come down to who you're spending your time with. Are they people with big goals who take action, or are they people who have a big talk but don't do anything? That's going to be what determines what's going on here.
Well, and starting point for me is getting, I've identified 2 people on my team, maybe a third one now. I want 4 people that I see are really serious, and we'll start working with them and building underneath them and working with them. What Todd Falcone teaches, taproot, you work with them and work with them and work with them until you find a leader. That's a really powerful strategy in a binary compensation plan, or even
Absolutely.
in a level. And then expand that to, 4 people to 10 people, and then to 20 people. And if you've got 20 leaders under you, you've got that kind of income that we're looking at, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. And again, as long as you're speaking the language that attracts those leaders in, that's going to be what speeds up that process of finding them.
Cool.
Awesome, man. Yeah. So definitely, any leaders you have, or people that have been successful, or even just understand the industry really well and have a success mindset that aren't, low vibration, they become a pre-enrollee and watch those videos. Let's make some calls together.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, awesome, James.
Okay, appreciate it, Mike.
I'll talk to you soon.
All right, you too. Bye-bye.
Okay, I'm going to go to Lynn. 1 second here, Lynn. Lynn, are you out there? Go ahead and unmute yourself if you're still here. Is this Lynn or Omar, or both of you?
Hey, Mike, can you hear me now?
Yeah, how you doing, man?
Really good. And you?
Doing good, doing really good. Is Lynn with you?
Well, she is, and but she's outside right now.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So, what do I search for in my email box to find you? Which?
So let's
which
see.
name?
So I believe I sent it from Lynn's email, which would you be looking for Kobar90 at Yahoo, and I believe I may have resent it.
I got it here.
Okay. It's not as lengthy as everybody else's, but just straight, direct to the point.
Okay, so let me make sure I can find it here. I see her emails, and I see where you say update. I can commit 1,000 per month to the lead source. Is it somewhere in? Okay, here it's down below, I think. No, I'm not seeing the original. Hold on, here's another one. No.
I think the first response was from maybe 2-3 weeks back, but I can look for it really quick if you'd like.
Yeah, you might have sent it from a different.
Yeah, actually that update was just a copy from today's. So let me just forward this again to you.
Okay. So those listening in, this will be the last one that we do today. Remember that Wednesday, I'm going to be doing this from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. There'll be some intermissions. I'm going to share what time the intermissions are tomorrow when I share the link to this. Also at 2 p.m. Pacific time, which is kind of one of the intermissions for you guys. But for me, I'll be connecting with those of you who are in the top 10 upline marketing rotators for help on your second leg. We'll take about 30 minutes, maybe an hour if we need it, to connect with that group on that topic. And everyone else is welcome to listen into that. But most of the day, we'll do a marathon goal and action plan setting conversation. I'd really like to connect with people who have smaller goals, because I think that's most people listening, so that you're clear on what your options are. Maybe you have no money to work with. Maybe you've never really made good money in your life. You have some confidence issues with the ability to do it. I look forward to those kinds of conversations as well. Let me see. Did you just forward that something to me?
I did. Did it come through?
I don't know. I see forwarded message, but I don't see the actual message. Wait, did I find it? Okay, we got it here.
Okay, great.
Yeah, 1 sec.
Awesome.
Okay. All right. And before we begin, I just want to say to those that need to go pretty soon, because we've been on here a while, whoever you are and wherever you're starting from, if you have either a success mindset or you're ready to get one and grow into one, and you're willing to commit to that, you can be wildly successful here. And the reason why is because this is the best opportunity that I've ever seen. You're like, well, everybody says that. Well, but the people who say that don't usually have 24 years track record at working full-time as an entrepreneur, who had to analyze effectively opportunities, that has had 7-figure years, year after year, some 8-figure years. Like, it would take an exceptional opportunity to get someone's attention who's had that track record. And so you need to just keep things simple and put things in a simple perspective, and then analyze it from that perspective so that you don't get confused with other crap out there. This is exceptional, and it shouldn't be too hard to see that. And if you don't see that, ask questions and figure it out, because get it sorted, because that shouldn't be a hard part to figure out. And once you have that figured out and you realize it is an exceptional vehicle to accomplish extraordinary goals in a faster period than you could do with any other opportunity, with less resources, with less time schedule, with less everything, that you can do that here better than anywhere else. Once you get that piece, then it's just a matter of deciding what you want to earn, putting together an action plan with us, and working it, and creating an amazing life for yourself, and having fun while you do it. It does not have to be overly complicated. What we're working against here is like centuries and centuries and centuries of limiting beliefs. And that's really what we're cracking open and helping people break through. Once you have the right vehicle, that's really all that's left. So whoever you are, wherever you are, understand that. That's a really important thing to get.
Boom.
Boom, boom. So if you have the desire to build a significant income, let's see, what's your monthly income goal? 3K per month. And by what date do you desire to hit that? February 2021. So what's that, 6 months?
Yes, sir.
Okay. When did you enroll and what level you at? Executive. What methods have you used? Warm market and solo ads. So tell me a little bit about the warm market.
So warm market, let's see, 4 executives and a couple of directors, some pre-enrollees.
Do they have the vision? Do they understand what's going on, or you don't really feel like it?
One does.
Okay.
Yep. So
that's all it takes.
Yep. One does.
Okay, cool.
The other ones may or may not come along. See what happens.
How much binary volume? 60K. Okay, cool. How do you plan to build your second leg going forward? Advertising and warm market. If you can advertise, what's the budget? $500 more is if necessary. Okay, excellent. So let's talk about this a little bit more. So are you prepared, and can you work into your schedule? Because we're going to want to max out what you do with those leads.
Right.
Can you work into your schedule, looking them up online and reaching out to them on Facebook to make sure that there's a connection there so they know to increase the number of them that are acknowledging the emails and understanding so they can understand what's going on? Or is that something that you are planning to do?
So recently, with all the leads that have been coming in, at least with the ones with the phone numbers, I've been reaching out via text as well the last couple of weeks. So some response. And also over the last week, I think the Genius app was something I should have implemented long ago. When we originally joined, the app was a lot different, but now that I'm aware of what the app actually does, it has some really nice features for texting and also emailing, and there's some nice follow-up on that. So we'll be implementing that. As far as finding people on Facebook, I would probably need some help with that. Besides looking up a name, because unless you know of an easy way besides just looking up a name, and when 20 people come up with the same name, I don't know.
There are tools that people use. I haven't gotten into them. All I do is I go to Google, I type in their phone number, I find out what state it's in, takes like 3 seconds.
Okay.
It's Arizona. I go to Facebook, I type in their name, Arizona, and oftentimes one person will come up. Now, sometimes more than one will come up. If more than one comes up, I write them all and let them know why I'm writing them, and usually the right person, shows themselves.
Very good. That's a good tip.
Yeah, that's all I do. And then, I just do everything I can. I'm like water. Like I don't really overthink it. It's hard to teach people to be like water. And that's why, mindset's everything. We're duplicating what everybody in this company is doing to be successful, but we get to do it in lots of different ways, depending on our situation and how we like to spend our day and our time. But for me, to accomplish extraordinary goals, I don't mind doing that kind of stuff and going the extra mile. And, I might email my leads from my personal email box, just to randomly check in just with those few emails when I had a few extra moments. Like, none of it's a big deal. I'm creating a multi-million-dollar income, and I'm willing to pay the dues to make that happen. I understand I got to identify people that are serious and help them become successful for it to happen. And I'm just like water, like, if I got to go to Facebook real quick and I see 5 people named Mary Jane from Arizona, I'm going to go real quick. It takes me a second. Hi, Mary Jane. Are you the Mary Jane that filled out this lead capture page? If so, let me know. Like, I don't overthink it. And I think that's, a lot of the hang up that a lot of people have. And to get to your goal as well, Omar, it's going to be kind of the same kind of logic. A lot of people get stuck overthinking all of these little steps, right? And thinking like there's some really like master plan method to it. But I don't overthink what I send them. I don't overthink any of it. I just connect and sort for what's for easy. And people raise their hand and say, yeah, you know what? I want to run. Or I'm looking for an opportunity. It's like, it's not a big deal. And they're out there. But if you get too stuck in the process, you're not freeing yourself enough, first of all, to enjoy it. So then you do less of it. You're overthinking it, so you get kind of tight about it, and so you don't do it. And then you're missing those people that you would have otherwise found if you were just kind of flowing around, So,
correct. Good point.
There's what going back to mindset. What's the most you've made in a year? I just want to make just get an idea of the income in.
Well, I've been multiple 6 figures for over 20 years. So
yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have over 3K a month in residual income from rental properties. I still have checks coming in from a network marketing company that I hit pretty hard back in 2015. So I'm familiar with it, at least building a network marketing company. What really attracted me to you is just your style, Mike. Really appreciate it. I mean, you're an awesome leader, and building the network marketing company the old traditional way with the meetings. Lynn and I used to rent out library, talk about health and nutrition and wellness, and we had a really great following. It was I would have known then what I know now, things would be different, but did the best I could with what I had. And we built a really, for us, it seemed like we did pretty well. Within the course of 4 months, we had 25,000 in volume, ranked up quite a bit, made the leaderboards, had a really good group, but it was very labor intensive, and it really took my focus away from my other business. So at some point I had to make a decision, and so we did, and we help people nutritionally with health and wellness when they come around, or we get phone calls and that type of thing. But that here we are now with this company, and we're really looking forward to growing with it and following your lead. And I don't mind spending that money. I'm really frugal with my cash, just because at my age, I want to make sure I'm making good investments, and that's always my strategy. I want my money to make money for me. And I realize that, being a business owner, we have to invest money in order to create a business. So I'm willing to do that, and following your lead. So, and if you need to send me a text and say, hey man, what's going on, and let's stay in touch, and I'll help keep the team on their toes. And if the team could help me keep me on my toes and focused, then we'll win this together.
All right, man. Sounds good. Yeah, there's certainly nothing about your goal and the timeline that's unreasonable. But yeah, we just need that, work in a process daily of connecting with them and following up with them and identifying the ones that are ready that you can connect with me or get on one of our events, and to be consistent with that. And I just don't see any reason why you can't do better than this. So looking forward to it, man. So July 1st, let's roll.
Let's do it.
Okay, awesome. I'm looking forward to it, man.
Okay. Appreciate you guys.
Yeah. Talk to you
Team
soon.
rocks.
Say hi to Lynn for me.
I will. Thank you.
All right, guys. So quite a few people we weren't able to get to yet. I'm going to look for your names. If you had your hand up, I'm going to look for your names on Wednesday. There'll be a lot of times throughout the day I'll say who had their hand up before, either on this call or a previous call that I didn't connect with, and I'll give you guys priority, okay? And, we connected with a lot of people that have a strong success mindset today and have had a lot of success in their life. I do look forward to connecting with more of you who don't. It makes sense that people with strong success mindsets are some of the first to raise their hands, even though they're the minority percentage in the population. And that's really the attitude you want to start shifting into. If you've been struggling financially, if you think anything's going to change by you hiding and lurking in the shadows, it's not. And I get that, because I did everything I could to not connect and to still be successful. And I did pretty well. I mean, I had some 7-figure years, but, creating systems and stuff, like I maxed out what you could do in terms of leverage without connection, when I was younger. And so I get that desire. Feels easier. But in reality, it's harder. You're going to have to work through a lot more labor-intensive, crazy stuff. It's when you start connecting where you start really embracing the path of abundance and moving into an easier way to attract your goals. So if there's a lot of resistance for you, realize every time you step into the limelight a little bit and stop judging yourself and stop holding back so much and just have more fun and relax. Even if you're not feeling relaxed initially, you will move into that. And that's when you start speeding up the process, because success is really all about connections in every industry. And even when I started making 7 figures in online marketing through very little connection, it came down to me having to do webinars, connecting. I started having leaders calling me because of some of the success I was having. And if I was going to maintain the success I was having, it was obvious very early, I need to connect with these other leaders. I need to do webinars. I need to start still networking and connecting. So there's really no way to avoid that, guys. You just have to decide between now and the day you die, who do you want to become? What kind of life do you want to live? How do you want to be defined? What kind of experience do you want to have? Do you want to be defined by your limitations and regrets? Or do you want to be defined by who you grew into and constantly growing and constantly expanding and getting rewarded financially for that and with the lifestyle? And I mean, the sky's the limit, guys. It really is. Like, this is one of the few industries where anybody can step in, and it might not even be their goal initially, but start having some success and realize they can go to the moon with it and develop into a CEO level income. Like, think about that. Like, millions of dollars. Like, where can that be done anywhere else? Where you just step into it, and within a relatively short period of time, for some it might be 5 years, for some people 3 years, for some people 7 years, but to be able to have that opportunity to make millions and millions of dollars and have this incredible life, that's kind of amazing. And I know not most are here for that, but just realize that as you progress, you start to realize that's open to you. And then when you think about the insecurity out there right now and the anxiety out there right now, because of a lot of uncertainty in the economy, they're printing massive amounts of money, and people who don't even understand the economy are picking up that something's kind of off. And this is a way to create your own security. This is a way to create not just financial freedom, but real security for your future. It can be fun. You get to be yourself. You get to identify your strengths and how you want to go about it. And you get to follow a simple system and process and plug away to accomplishing something amazing in your life. I really don't know how it could get any better than that. You get massive support. So whether you're on our team or you're not, and you're just kind of listening in, I invite you to just approach it from a more relaxed perspective, from just kind of a realistic perspective, and look at it for what it is, which is an amazing opportunity available to anybody to accomplish something extraordinary if they just plug away at it. It's not a big deal. It's really not. Okay, guys, we'll do this all day Wednesday. I will share details on that tomorrow. And let's see what else is going on. Again, getting this part of the strategy to get help on the second leg. Do I have that open still? I don't think I do. The part of the strategy to get help on your second leg is only going to be available to people who are on our team and committed before June 30th. So July 1st comes around, we've got a new presentation out. It won't mention that anymore. It'll only be the internal team who gets that kind of support. If you don't know what I'm talking about, watch the comprehensive review. It's still in there right now. It talks about how you can get help on the second leg long term, where your upline's helping you build that second leg. It's a huge, generous strategy. And again, for those of you that have qualified for that, we're going to meet and support you in learning more about it and to help you on Wednesday at 2 p.m. Pacific. It'll be kind of an intermission or a different little segment that we have on my all-day marathon call. And everyone can listen in to get more insight into what that is. But July 1st rolls around, that's gone. And it'll just be the people that were in before June 30th that get to participate in that. It's a really big deal. I don't have a lot of time to send a bunch of emails out talking about it. I've shared it, and we're going to close the door on that piece for those that don't join us. So let your pre-enrollees know the best you can. It's a big deal. Okay, guys, awesome connecting with you. This is not a big deal. You find an income goal that you can believe. It's not like pie in the sky. You put together an action plan to be able to follow the simple process that has gotten everybody who's successful in this company to be successful, where you're generating pre-enrollees, you're following up with them and letting them know what's here, and then you're working with those. You can work with me to help you work with those to duplicate that process. It's not complicated. We're sharing the vision of the company. It's an amazing company. It's an amazing vehicle, and I encourage you to hop on in and have fun going for this ride with us. All right, guys, it's been fun. I will see you Wednesday all day. I better get my coffees lined up. I'll see you then, guys. Have a good one. Bye-bye, everybody.